Hello, Patriots. My name is,
My name is Inigo Montoya.
no, my name is Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. There are about 1,500 laws that have been proposed up there at the Kentucky Capitol to be made into new laws. And you're not going to hear about a lot of this stuff on the other news sources. That's why I hope you'll subscribe to Patriot Point and watch every week. We've got some bills that have been filed this week that are very pro-gun rights. We've also had some filed which are very anti-gun rights. We're going to be talking about both of those this week. But I want to start off by talking about House Bill 500. This is a bill that's getting some attention. A lot of people have asked me to look into this and give some insight on it. House Bill 500 would say, in Kentucky, we're going to change the law where there will be no minimum wage or overtime pay requirements for people who work in the agriculture industry or government employees, or if you work in retail stores or in the service industry, such as at a hotel, a motel, a no-tell hotel, or in a restaurant, if these make $95,000 a year or less. It also would say there's no minimum wage requirements or overtime pay for newspaper delivery people or anybody who works at one of these non-profit summer camps, things like that. This bill is 21 pages long, and it does a multitude of things. It really should be separated into about 5 different bills. Some of the things this bill does are pro-business, and I think would be good, and I would like. Other things like that I've mentioned, I would have to oppose these things. House Bill 500 is a classic example of why there should be single issue bills, not single topic. You could put 7,000 things under the same topic. Single issue, and that way it can have a straight up or down vote. I am sick and tired, as my dear sainted mother would have said, sick and tired of these politicians who want to do something bad, but they'll attach 2 or 3 good things to it, making our politicians have to vote for bad things, or otherwise their opponents are going to say, well, look, they voted down the good stuff. So House Bill 500 in its current form cannot support, even though there's some good things in there. It's got a lot of bad stuff, an example of why we should have single issue bills. This bill's primary sponsor, the supporter of it, is Mr. Phil Pratt, representative from Scott County. If you would like to let your legislator know how you feel about this or any bill up for a vote, then you can leave a message at the Legislative Message Center at the Capitol. The phone number is 1-800-372-7181, and that's open weekdays during normal business hours. Remember what I always say when you call to leave a message for your legislator. Be brief, be courteous, and ask them to contact you back with what they will be doing, because that really keeps them on the hook, making them answerable to the people. And if you've been courteous with them, you have a much better chance of getting a response. Well, let's look now at some of the good and bad gun bills that have been proposed up there in the State House. Yes, we are having quite the old-fashioned Kentucky showdown about gun rights. First of all, let's talk about House Bill number 357. This one would be a pro-gun rights bill. This would prohibit banks and other financial institutions from requiring that gun sellers keep a code that tracks all of the gun sales. It would prohibit requirements saying that you have to keep registry of all the private firearm sales that are going on right now. Because what we have is a bunch of banks that are pretty much making law requiring gun registrations. So this would prevent them from doing that. And let's talk about gun registrations real quick. We know that has been the goal of the Democratic Party. Here we have a quote from former Attorney General Janet Reno. She said, "Registration is a step. Waiting lists are a step. The end goal is the total prohibition of private firearms." And again, she was the Attorney General of the United States under the Clinton administration. So this has been a goal of the liberals for years. Here we have a good bill. House Bill 357 said, listen, you're not allowed private industries to require people to keep these gun registration lists. So if you'd like to contact your legislator, let them know that you support House Bill 357 to protect gun rights. Again, the phone number is 1-800-372-7181. 81. The primary sponsor of this bill is Representative Derek Lewis, who represents Clay, Leslie, and part of Laurel counties. And this bill has already passed the House of Representatives, and it is now on its way to the Senate. Here's the registration. This is the official vote. Look for your state representative and see if they voted yes, they voted no, or if they didn't happen to vote on this particular bill. Sometimes the politicians get mad at me because the people get upset when I show the voting record. I always like to remind them, I didn't make the people upset. You made the people upset. All I did is show them what you are doing. So that is House Bill number 357, a bill which would help protect some gun rights. Let's talk about the exact opposite on the other side of the showdown. Senate Bill number 13, an anti-gun rights bill. This is a red flag law. This would say somebody can go to a judge, you go to the police goes to the judge saying, I think this person is unstable, so we should take all of their guns away. And then there can be a hearing that you are not even notified is happening, where they're going to decide if you get to keep your guns or if they're all to be confiscated. So this ruling can come out, and then if they say take them, police comes to your door, says you are now required to give me all of your guns. There's a lot of details to this bill. I did an entire separate video on this. This is the thumbnail to look for. And I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can go and watch all about this particular bill. This is a very anti-gun rights, anti-gun owner bill. This was written by Senator Whitney Westerfield, who represents Caldwell, Christian, and Muhlenberg counties. Now, it's interesting to find out who is co-sponsoring this bill to try to get this approved. I'm just going to mention the co-sponsors of this one. You have Senator Derek Yates, who is the Democratic leader in the Kentucky State Senate. You'll know, Mr. Westerfield's a Republican, supposedly. Every single person supporting his bill is a Democrat. He's got a Democrat, Senator Armstrong, Senator Harper Angel, Senator Reginald Thomas. Only the Democrats are supporting this bill from this guy who calls himself a Republican.
He sold out! We elected him and he sold out! Promises. You elect them and they weasel out of their promises.
Yes, I dare say that I think Mr. Westerfield will probably be facing an opponent in the Republican primary in a few years. So we have this bill, Senate Bill 13. Again, if you would like to contact your senator and let them know where you stand on this red flag gun grab bill, you can call 1-800-372-7181. So these are some of the bills we've got right now. And personally, I am very pro-gun. My little girl knows how to shoot because really a restraining order is just a piece of paper. All right. So make sure your little girls know how to take care of themselves with a firearm. Now, each week talking about elections, I'm highlighting a candidate who is a solid conservative, somebody who's going to stand up there for conservative principles, push against the leftist agenda, and push against these fake Republican rhinos. The candidate this week is Mr. T.J. Roberts. He's be running in the 66th House District. There's a listing of the website if you'd like to make a donation. And each week, I'm encouraging people to send $10, $20, maybe $100 if you can to the candidate of the week. Seems the other side always has a tons of money. So let's put some skin in the game saying, you know what? Liberty's not a spectator sport. I'm going to participate to get good representatives in the Kentucky state legislature that are going to stand up for true conservative Republican principles. And the person this week is Mr. T.J. Roberts. I will have a link in the description of this video where you can just click that and go right to the page where you can make a donation, and I hope you'll give what you can. So that's the news we have for this week. So until next week, Patriots.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.